Last night, we had our first ever in-person Domo Ovation Awards ceremony to honor and celebrate our customers who are driving impact in their businesses. We are so excited to have 4 of our winners up to share some of their success with Domo. These individuals are some of our most innovative customers, and we're so grateful they're here. Please let me introduce Senior Director of Digital Marketing at Visit Orlando, Tim Megginson, CFO at Bradley Company, Allan Bell, Senior Manager of Business Intelligence at Henry Schein One, Colemen Wilson, and COO at Medius, Branden Jenkins.
We are always running for the thrill of it, always pushing up the hill, searching for the thrill of it. All along, we are calling out now together, never looking down. I'm just an oral.
Congrats to you all and all of our Domo Ovation Award winners for 2024.
Thank you.
Tim, you're the winner of our Rookie of the Award. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about how you've used Domo to optimize your global marketing campaigns at Visit Orlando.
Yeah, so really quickly, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Domo, for putting on this awesome conference. So really quickly, so Visit Orlando, we're a not-for-profit organization that exists to drive overnight visitation to Orlando. We have 1,500 members, some of which you're probably familiar with, small companies like Walt Disney World Resort, Universal Orlando Resort, and then we also support a lot of family-owned businesses as well. So we're very fortunate. We have lots of data. Our challenge was that data was siloed, not connected, and very little standardization. So we advertise in 10 different countries in 5 different languages with 3 different media agencies. So our challenge was we needed to connect the data first and then create dashboards that told a story for us about our media performance and where opportunities were. So thanks to Domo and the small but mighty Visit Orlando team, we did that. We accomplished it. We had over 800 sources of data and over 200 million rows. So for a small team, it was a big project. But previously, we had challenges accessing the data. The data would be delayed. There'd be accuracy issues. But now with Domo, we can look at campaigns at a country level. We can look at executive dashboards that help us understand pacing and media budget, and then really make real-time decisions with our media to improve our performance.
It's awesome. Just no big deal at all.
No big deal. Super easy.
I love it. Allan, congrats on your Domo Pioneer Award.
Thank you.
I don't think there's another customer who has done more reference calls for us than you have. And you've brought Domo with you to 4 different organizations. I think that's pretty loyal. I think that's loyalty. As CFO, why do you continue to bring Domo with you to places like Bradley Company?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me here, and good morning, everyone. Quite frankly, when you find a tool that works, you keep it, right? And as I've gone from organization to organization, I've just determined that a lot of the problems are the same. A lack of clarity, long time to close the books, and an inability to get the organization aligned across all operations and functions. So by leveraging Domo and coupling it with some unique things that we do in the SQL environment and some basic functionality of Excel, we're able to get the insights that we need, not only for internal reporting, but also for external reporting as well. And it just helps us do it a lot more effectively. I just started with Bradley back in October, and we've historically gotten our internal management reports out on the 26th of each month. Next month, we'll get them out on the 15th. So just using some systematic process improvements and understanding what the most relevant points are for the organization, and then using some of the automation and data capabilities of Domo, it makes it a lot easier to do that. And after you've done it 4 times, it gets a little bit easier.
It's a little easier after that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Colemen, I'm going to take this opportunity in front of everyone to call out that you're our fastest climber in the community forum leaderboard that we have ever seen.
Yeah.
No wonder you are our Community Member of the Year award winner. What do you love about the community, and why should the audience be involved?
Yeah, first, thank you. It was a lot of fun climbing the leaderboard, doing it fast. I'm a very competitive guy, so when I started seeing, Grant and Mark and Michelle and everyone earning all these points, I was like, how do I get in on this? I need to climb the leaderboard too. But what I love about the Domo community is, yes, of course, the online forum, which is great because if I get stuck or if I'm in Tim's position where I'm new to the tool or new to the company, I need help, I can lean on all these great people in the audience and people around the world that might have a creative solution to my problem. On the other side, I'm now a manager. I'm no longer really a developer or doing anything day-to-day as an individual contributor, and so I've not been able to do as much of that stuff I used to love doing, which is solving complex problems, building ETLs, coming up with creative solutions. And so about a year ago, I decided, hey, I need to find some outlet to do that. I need to do some professional development and make sure I stay sharp in Domo. And the community was a great place to do that because I'm presented with challenges from all these different companies and all their unique ways they're using Domo, which exposes me to all the new challenges and the new opportunities that are in Domo. So it's also great on the people side of the community. John Lee, last night at the Ovation Awards, did a cartwheel on his way up to accept. And those are the really high energy, cool people that you get to meet through the Domo community, which is awesome because it's not all the time that we get to do Domopalooza and get together. So through that online community and through the connections events and the other opportunities to connect, we get to do that and make these great friends with all the people in the community.
I love it. You have a Domo bucket list too, right?
I do, I do have a Domo bucket list. In fact, I checked 2 items off today.
Amazing.
Yeah, one of which was shaking hands with and meeting Josh James, which was really exciting. Yeah, been using Domo since 2015, and so I've always, of course, seen him everywhere, seen Domopalooza, never had a chance to meet him. Finally got to do that, which was really cool. So
I love it. Well, let's keep checking them off. Branden, similar to Allan, you've been a long-time Domo customer and our Impact Award winner. What challenge were you facing at Medius that led you to bring a solution like Domo?
Yeah, so while longtime customer, recent user and customer at Medius, right? So we recently deployed it last year. Medius is a kind of a world-leading accounts payable automation solution. We manage all the spend, expense management for mid-sized and large-sized businesses. And we make that whole thing autonomous. But when I was brought to Medius a few years ago, we're private equity backed. We have large, growth ambitions. We're very focused at building a very durable, sustainable business in the sense of we have to do this growth profitably. And that's a big shift that's happened to businesses, SaaS solutions like Medius over the last few years is it's not growth at all costs anymore. You have to do it in a very profitable, sustainable way. And you have to do that with things like data. With data, you have to empower your users. You have to get at it very quickly. And at Medius, like many businesses, we have some of the best tools out there, many tools, but bringing it all together and making it actionable and going from insights to predictive and kind of this autonomous motion, you have to have tools like Domo, and Domo's really delivered for us on that.
I love it. You're also on Domo's consumption-based pricing model. Why'd you make the switch?
Yeah, so when we contracted with Domo originally, we went on the traditional model, users, and I was very focused on we're in a world of reducing tools, reducing spend, and I'm telling the whole organization, no more, we're pulling back. So it was actually kind of counterintuitive to say, hey, we're going to buy another tool. So I came into the Domo relationship very focused on solving a problem, and that was getting an understanding of our full funnel, lead acquisition to bringing a customer on and making that very efficient. And we proved that in weeks with Domo, right? And I just realized that there's so much more we can do, and the consumption model started to make sense. And the cool thing about the consumption model is it's changed the conversation internally where we're not fighting for a new budget, we're not trying to convince IT to deploy a new module, go through a procurement process. It's actually we own it all. The best of Domo's there, we just need to go use it.
Yeah, I love it. Tim, what advice do you have for other Domo rookies in the room who are in their first year or two of their data journey?
Yeah, so first, you're not alone. So, Visit Orlando, we're a small team, so we definitely leaned on our partners at Domo for their expertise and insight. I think one of the things we did at a high level was we kept asking, what are we trying to accomplish and why? So we had our North Star, and we hammered on that every day. So we had a very aggressive launch timeline, which I'm sure no one else has ever had.
Oh, never.
Never happens. So just continuing to ask yourself what and why you're trying to accomplish. Another potential nugget for you is I'm a big believer in the crawl, walk, run phase. So setting key milestones and deliverables as a team, super, super important. Also super helpful as you're managing up and across the organization. And then the last thing, just a personal note, we had a few hiccups along the way with our build, a lot of data, compressed timeline. Again, I'm sure it's never happened to anybody else, but I would continuously tell my team, if there was a hiccup or a mistake, blame me, it's my fault. Let's learn from it, don't repeat it, and move forward. Just keep moving forward. You might have some obstacles, but just continue to move forward.
I love that. Colemen, you've been a power user for nearly 10 years. For those that have been on their data journey longer, like you, what advice do you have for them to uplevel advance their skills and knowledge?
Yeah, great question. That is what happened to me a year ago. I decided I've just maybe been in this rut for the last 9 years using Domo. How can I get out of that? How can I continue to level up and do more? And so I'd already done the Domo certifications, which if you haven't, I highly recommend, because you might think, I know everything there is to know about Domo. I thought that, and then I took the certifications and was like, whoa, there's a lot that I didn't know, and also just best practices that Domo shares through those certifications. So I would highly recommend doing the Domo certifications. And then the other way I've gotten out of that rut, as we just talked about earlier, is through my involvement in the community forums, because it's forcing me to find creative workarounds and creative solutions that then I can go, oh, I helped this person with that. I could also apply that in my own organization and apply that value there in a way that I just hadn't thought of because I hadn't been presented with the opportunity to solve that problem. So I'd highly recommend going in there. Many of you probably have to ask questions, but try answering some. It's addictive. It's gamified. You earn points. You earn prizes. I think you'll be hooked once you start using it, and at the very least, there's that value of just learning new things, being exposed to new things, and having that continuous professional development.
We can feel it. Everyone can feel your energy around the community.
Woo! There's some more. It's
There we go.
contagious, maybe.
Yeah. Allan, getting buy-in for new tools isn't always easy, based on your experience 4 times. How do you recommend people get technology buy-in from your stakeholders in an organization?
Yeah, that's a great question. So even where I am now with Bradley, there's resistance to change. It's just part of human nature. But the way that I've been able to overcome that is I don't present Domo as a replacement tool. I present it as a complementary tool to what they already have. Most of the folks who are going to be using the data are already familiar with Excel. So what I do is I show them how the exact same insights they're getting from Excel matches up with what we're showing them in Domo, and then they make the decision themselves. Because the information that we show them in Domo is much more powerful and insightful, and I just see them gradually so they gravitate towards using Domo more often. And then also from being in the seat and I guess sort of a position of power as the CFO, if I start driving my questions from our monthly reviews from the insights from Domo that they can get to much more quickly, it sort of facilitates that transition. But I think the most important piece is just presenting it as a complementary tool, and people aren't forced to choose one or the other right away, and helping them see how the insights that they get from Domo are much, much more robust and easier to use, and also to disseminate throughout the organization using the different dashboards that we create. So I try to set it up as not an either or, but you can look at both and they make the decision because it's pretty clear how much more powerful it is.
Once you get that buy-in, is there a single tip or advice you would give on the adoption for, throughout the org?
Yeah, so one of the things that I think really helps is you also have to, I ask each of my initial individuals that I work with is, what insights do you need? What can we present you that you don't currently have in our current environment? And once they define that, it's typically something that's very pressing for them. So what that does is it allows me, one, to show the immediate value of the finance organization because we're listening and providing them something. And then if I equate the answer to a long existing question with this fantastic tool, Domo, that's actually going to naturally facilitate their ability and belief and comfort with Domo, because now they've got an answer to something they couldn't get before, and Domo becomes sort of the savior. And it just makes my life a lot easier as I gravitate them and the rest of their organizations functionally to the tool. So it's a little bit of, you might say, manipulation, but at the end of the day, it works very effectively, and we all get aligned so that we can cascade those C-suite KPIs that we need throughout the entire organization, but also adding additional insights that each of those functional areas of the company need using Domo.
It's about them, like an individual.
Yeah, I told them I try to help them get what they need, but make sure it doesn't put too much of a strain on our team. So it's sort of like a win-win for us all.
It's great. All right, a few rapid-fire questions to wrap up. What would you love to do with your data today that you can't? And Tim, let's just start with you.
Yeah, sure. So again, we have 1,500 members that we support. So in our perfect world, it'd be great if we're meeting with our members individually, we could pull a report, a dashboard that would show us all the activity and support that we've provided for them in the last 90 days, the last 6 months, whatever. And the Domo has the capability for us. It's, how do we input press releases, email inclusion, traffic to their content on our website, different things that we do as an organization. So just connecting those dots.
It's great.
So for me personally, what I would like to be able to do is speak to the data. A lot of the times, the insights that I determine that we need to make sure that we make the right decisions, we have to come up with different presentations of that data. So I'd like to just be able to talk, and this is probably something that I'm hoping will come from the AI environment, is instead of getting with my FP&A team and we're sitting out charting new insights, I could just speak out what I'd like to have, whether it's a pie chart or insights or what analytics or variances period over period, and then just have it sort of come up with a presentation of what might be an option instead of us having to dig through and create it. That would be very helpful.
I love it.
Well, Lacy, if you would have asked me that question 10 years ago, my answer would be a lot. But now, I tell this all the time to people in our organization when they ask, can we do this in Domo? It's becoming each year less and less that I have to say, no, we can't. And I imagine in another 10 years, we'll be able to do everything. So I think we can do generally most of what we need to with our data. There are some small things, column level, column masking, column level PDP would be huge for us. That would help us a lot. More automation, more stuff with AI, but I'm pretty sure some announcements around all that stuff
I think
is,
so.
not to steal any thunder, but those are things that would help us a lot. But really, it's like with each passing year, there's fewer and fewer times I find myself telling internal stakeholders, no, we can't do that.
Branden?
All right. So, we're very focused right now on landing our customers and optimizing that whole go-to-market motion with sales or marketing, bringing them into the funnel and closing the deal. But the real lever in our business and SaaS businesses in general is actually the expansion opportunity. Like, you get them as a customer, but how do you get them to consume more? How do you drive more value to them and extract value in return? And we have just a plethora, just an enormous amount of data on our customers' usage of our software, right? So bringing that data, that production data, and marrying it up with our corporate data, our sales and marketing data, will just give us phenomenal insights on how to just go through that whole customer life cycle. And that's what's next.
I love it. In a few words, what is most exciting about AI for you? And Branden, let's start with you.
It is giving our employees superpowers.
I love it.
I want humans. I want my team to continue doing the fun, creative, exciting stuff. I don't want them to have to do the boring, repetitive stuff. And so for AI, it's the repeat process automation, the solving the problems that require just like no brain power. It's like I just got to plow through this, freeing up time for them to be creative, do cool things, do exciting things.
I'm excited about the fact that AI can help us expedite our process improvements and streamlining financial insights very quickly. As a finance guy, I'm always looking for ways to present things more quickly and reduce costs, and AI is going to help us do that. I am absolutely sure of it.
Yeah, and I love what Coleman said. It's for us, we talk about it as a team. We want to leverage AI so humans can spend more time being human. That's what we want to accomplish.
Spend more time being human.
Yes.
I love it. Coleman, Allan, Branden, Tim, thank you for joining us and sharing some of the ways you've been successful. We're super grateful for you as our customers and all of you as customers as well. Thank you.